And hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Pascack Clutch Podcast. I'm Matthew Merlino with Sean Barry, Michael McKay, and Alex McKay this week. And unfortunately, this week we had a big loss in the Pascack Hills community. Senior bowler Joe McNeese unfortunately passed away on Tuesday, and it's a big loss for all of us here at Pascack Hills. He was a pillar of the Bronco community. And while he didn't win that competition in February, I think, as our own Mr. Gantz and Mr. Sant would say, he was the pinnacle of freshness. He was Mr. Pascack Hills. These two were on the bowling team with him. Do you guys have anything you'd like to say about Joe?
Joe was an amazing bowler. He really was one of the best. And when I watched him play, I really strive to have as much passion and as much spirit as I could to whatever I do to match the kind of level of happiness and joy he brought to every single thing he did.
He was a very good guy, possibly one of the best people you'll ever meet here at Pascack Hills. He always said hi to me in the halls, even though I didn't really know him and he didn't really know me. Yeah. And you guys knew him way better than me and Sean did.
And even though he didn't win Mr. Pascack Hills, I think we can all agree he is Mr. Pascack Hills.
That's very well said, Alex. Well, yesterday, boys basketball had their first-round state tournament game. That was against number 12 Pompton Lakes. Boys basketball was ranked at number 5. They held a moment of silence for Joe at the start of that game, and Nick Luckman, when he was called out for the starting lineups, brought out Joe's Fieldstone Middle School jersey, a nice gesture from Luckman. Boys basketball went on to win that game 62-41 over Pompton Lakes. They'll play in the state quarterfinals this coming Monday at Dumont. That game is scheduled for 6 o'clock Monday night. They did come off a big win this Saturday in the BIT tournament, 72-68 in two career-high point totals. Nick Luckman scored 27, a career high for him, and Austin Ellman scored 22, a career high for him. Good performances from both of those, and Luckman won the tournament MVP award as the Broncos moved to 13-9. Girls basketball, although they did not make the state playoffs, they did finish their season with a 2-game winning streak, ended up overall 6-17. Boys bowling unfortunately lost to Demarest in the state quarterfinals 2-0. The final in that one, they were the number 2 seed. Hills was the number 7 seed. In wrestling, the individual tournament begins with Hassan Shawkat, Jake Waka, and Sean Herman all qualifying for the regional tournament in District 3. Shawkat placed second in the 106-pound tournament. Waka and Herman won the 150 and 157-pound tournaments, respectively. They will all wrestle in districts this Friday and this Saturday. That will happen at West Milford all day. And Pascack hockey lost in the Big North Gold Cup final, unfortunately, but they did win pretty handily, 9-2 over, I believe it was Wallkill Valley, but I could be wrong there. Whippany Park they beat. It was 9-2 the final score, so they'll move on. They play in the state quarterfinals tonight at Sportorama in Muncie, New York. That game should start at around 8:15 tonight. So if you are a fan, show out to that one. College basketball now, and we had some upsets this past week. Sean, I know you want to talk about one thing. You started an Ohio State rebuild on March Madness Legacy, the college basketball video game made back in 2010. And they fired their coach recently, and I think the rebuild is real because they beat Purdue. Final score 73-69 on Sunday. How about that?
Yeah, I watched that game somewhat because I was actually at Dave & Buster's at Palisades Mall with my cousin and uncle during the game. But we came back to my house to watch the Stadium Series after, but I did watch the end of the game in Ohio State. They just played good basketball and they won with their new head coach.
Yeah, it was a good game for Ohio State. LSU upset South Carolina a bit before
Kentucky.
That, and in the Big East, UConn blew out Marquette. That was number 1 versus number 4 in the Big East, but it wasn't much of a competition.
That game was being hyped up so much,
and it did not live up. Number 2, Houston defeated number 6, Iowa State on Monday, 73-65. Pretty handy win for the Wildcats, ranked at number 2. And then yesterday, a big upset in the Big East.
the Creighton Blue Jays from Omaha, Nebraska upset the 1 seed Yukon Huskies with a final score of 85-66. It was a real good game to watch. I started watching at the second half after, of course, the Devils had to go and lose the game in classic Devils fashion. But that definitely made things a little bit better for me when I watched them stun UConn and just seeing the whole student section of the whole stadium run onto the court like they just won a giant football game. Basically.
That was just like Ohio State when they beat Purdue.
And that was in Omaha. So a home win over the
Purdue,
number 1 team.
I'm gonna be the stat guy for a second. This is the first time in school history they were 0-6 when they went up against a number 1 seeded team. This is their first time winning in school history that they've now become now won on the good
Giant
side.
Slayers. I guess you could call it.
Purdue lost to Ohio State. UConn lost to Creighton. Can we trust some of these top?
Can we trust Houston?
Can we trust these top number 1 and ranked 2 teams in March Madness to win?
That's
or
true.
just to win, or for them just to win at all. When they came and win against Ohio State and
against teams.
Creighton.
Well, Creighton's going to be a 2 or 3 seed in March Madness, but Ohio State may not even make it.
Well, if they win
if they keep going.
If they win out and they win the Big Ten tournament, they would be in though.
That would be.
Or
that
even
would
if
be
they do win out and they do make it win, they could probably get like a 14 seed or something.
Ohio State Final Four appearance. If they win the Big Ten tournament, then
I mean, no one had
first
first 4 UCLA in 2021 going all the way to the Final Four.
That's true. They were an 11 seed there, so we'll just have to see.
Speaking of first 4, Seton Hall is a first 4 team right now.
First 4 out.
No, first 4 in.
Oh, first.
So like Legacy, they would have to play.
4 in. They would have to play
Ole
playing
Miss.
games.
For first 4.
That would be a good game. Ole Miss versus Seton Hall. I'd watch that in the first 4. But nobody cares about the first 4. We care about that 64-team bracket that we'll be getting in less than a month. It's crunch time for college basketball. This is I believe, the second to last week of regular season action.
Yeah. Wait. No, 3 more.
3 more. 3 more weeks.
I remember.
It's late this year. It's really late this year.
And this Saturday, Fox Primetime Hoops is a battle in the Big East. Villanova at UConn.
That's a big game.
And
Villanova can upset UConn, and UConn's on a downward
and it's
streak
at
right
UConn.
now. It's at UConn. It'd be tough, but if Villanova can upset UConn, that's huge momentum.
And I don't know if Villanova played yesterday or on Tuesday, but the last game, Butler was at their stadium, and Villanova won at home.
Yeah, so that was a big win for Villanova. Butler's
Kentucky's going to be interesting because this past week in Kentucky, when on the road, they were locked in. I was watching the game at Davies Locker, drinking birch beers. And, they were locked in on the road, played great defense. Kentucky got the win at Auburn on the road. And then now you're home. Were they? They were home. Wait, no.
Yeah, I think they were.
No, they were at LSU.
LSU last night.
And then they lost by 1 by a buzzer beater.
That's crazy. Big win for LSU though.
It's just gonna be interesting. Can Kentucky stay consistent?
Now, we'll talk about this when we get closer to the conference tournaments. We still got 3 weeks apparently until then. What's the watch list for college basketball conference tournament week?
Big East, obviously.
Yeah.
And then
Big East at number 1. That's pretty obvious.
Big Ten might be interesting to watch. And then
I feel if Ohio State keeps this momentum on, I'm going to be watching.
Big 12, obviously watch.
Big 12,
and
Big 12, and Big 10. I think
I do like the SEC this year for basketball.
Really,
yes.
really, the SEC.
I think SEC tournaments can be good
over the ACC.
Yes,
really.
Yes.
Why? What's the discrepancy between?
Because SEC, like LSU, you saw what they did Kentucky. I feel like everyone I feel like SEC, everyone has LSU upset Kentucky. You have Bama, Auburn's doing good.
That's true.
Everyone in SEC is doing
Bama,
good.
Auburn 1 and 2, I think, right now. So
yes.
like that. I like that.
So I like the SEC tournament this year.
So
I don't really know how I feel about the ACC. I feel like the ACC is just mid. I don't trust. I feel like I do not trust Duke and UNC.
What about any of those other ACC teams? How about Syracuse? Syracuse has been doing all right this year. I mean, they don't have Boeheim anymore, but I agree with you. The ACC
And then with like
fallen off.
Virginia, it's like
Yeah, and then Virginia lost to Furman last year, if you remember that. But here's the preliminary conference tournament watch list for the Pascack Clutch podcast. We got Big East tournament number 1. That's pretty obvious.
number 2, Big 12,
I think we go Big 12 number 2,
and then SEC,
and then SEC
and
number
then Big
3.
10.
Big 10, I think we can put on par with the SEC, maybe on par with the Big 12, but that's if these regular season storylines continue and ACC goes down to the bottom. What about the Pac-12? I think the Pac-12 goes below the ACC because they got
No
one.
one's even. It's only Arizona.
It's only Arizona. Arizona's
And
the only
UCLA
team.
is an off year for them because they lost all their best guys.
Yeah. So Pac-12 all the way down to the bottom. We're glad you're dead. Not in football, but in basketball, who cares? All right. Speaking of conferences, let's go over the conference standings. Just a quick second. We have in the ACC UNC over Duke. They're both 12-3 in conference. Virginia's 1.5 games back, but UNC did beat Duke early on, so they have the tiebreaker. Big 12 standings, where it is close between Houston and Iowa State. Houston did beat Iowa State. That was a big game because that gives them a 10-3 record compared to Ohio State's 9-4 conference record. So the Cougars, now number 2 in the country, they are looking pretty good. Big East Conference. Still UConn up at number 1, number 1 in the country as of now, but they did lose to Creighton. Still have a 2.5 game lead over Marquette, who dropped down to number 7 after that loss to UConn. And UConn beat Marquette, so they have a tiebreaker there. I think the Huskies still have that number 1 Big East seed locked up.
But I do not think they're going to win the Big East tournament, though.
I don't think either, because that single elimination, 1 loss and you're done. Seton Hall and Providence at 4 and 5. That's pretty good because they're up. Those are the first round bye slots.
Yeah, the first 5, the first top 5 automatically have a bye to the quarterfinals.
So that's UConn, Marquette, Creighton, Seton Hall, and Providence. Although Providence is very close to Villanova, just a half game between those two for that final bye. Seton Hall's looking pretty good. The rest of the top 4, all good. In the Big 10, it's still Purdue by 2 games over Illinois. Ohio State, we talked about them. They're 5-10 in conference. They're 7 games back, but they still have the conference. They still have the Big 10 tournament, and they still have 3 weeks to play where they've got all conference
They
games
can
pretty
still
much.
make the tournament.
They can still do many things. And then we'll talk about the SEC, where that is also close. I said Alabama, Auburn 1 and 2. That was last week. This week it's different. Alabama's still number 1 at 11 and 2. Tennessee is 1 game
I forgot
back
about
at
Tennessee.
Wow.
Tennessee's
Forgot
even
about
good
Tennessee
this year.
because Tennessee beat Kentucky.
At home,
Remember, they
at
blew them out
Kentucky.
at Kentucky at Rupp Arena. That was a huge win for Tennessee. They're second. They're 1 game back of Alabama. I'm not sure if those two have played just yet. When they do, that'll be a big game for the number 1 seed in the SEC tournament. We did have something very big in the National Hockey League and in sports around this New York area. This past Saturday and Sunday, the NHL Stadium Series came to MetLife Stadium. I believe that's the second time it's been held near New York because they had it at Yankee Stadium
2014,
back, right?
And they had the Winter Classic in New York at State Field in 2018.
This is the first.
So this is the third outdoor event NHL game in the New York sports area, but it's the first at MetLife, and they had a lot of people there, even for the Saturday game where it was Devils Flyers.
Yeah, it said that they, I think, had like 150,000 or 160,000.
It was something
total
crazy.
people.
They were selling the upper bowl.
Oh yeah, they were. They almost sold out.
I know.
The Stadium Series, the whole thing, it was, in general, it was more hyped than the Super Bowl.
I agree.
Yeah.
The Stadium Series was more hyped than the Super Bowl,
I think
barring those terrible cutaway interviews that they had with Bettman and whoever else.
I may be
They should
speaking
have
the
just
obvious,
kept it on the game.
but I think you can all agree with me. The Stadium Series is better than the Winter Classic. It is really,
No, I agree,
it's
though,
really
actually.
just the Stadium Series, but on New Year's Day. Think about it.
I agree. And it's just one game.
But the problem with the Classic is they always have it at a bad location now with bad teams.
That's true.
It's on TNT.
Like the original appeal of the Winter Classic was you had the original 6
but that's
teams
that's like
outdoor.
what they're doing with the Stadium Series now. The Stadium Series is on President's Day weekend. I feel like it's better location and better teams,
on ESPN
and it's on
with Sean McDonough.
and it's on ABC with Sean McDonough and Ray Ferraro.
Yeah.
Before we get to what happened at the last Stadium Series, the next Stadium Series is actually in the Horseshoe at Columbus, Ohio. The
Blue
Jackets
Detroit White
against
Wings
Detroit.
versus.
That is going to be an interesting matchup.
I don't know because Columbus is really bad.
I heard
That's
something
the only
that
issue.
in 2025 we're gonna have the Blackhawks play in Wrigley.
But then again,
yeah,
I
2 years.
I don't know who they said
For
is
what?
either
Winter
opponent.
For
Classic?
Stadium Series or Winter Classic, I'm not sure.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on.
Wait,
hold
I
on.
think that might be the Winter
2025,
Classic.
Blackhawks play at Wrigley.
I think that's the Winter Classic.
might be
he's
Winter
talking
Yeah,
about.
because he's talking about Stadium Series 2025.
Yeah, Stadium Series is at the Horseshoe, which is going to be
Oh,
really
wait.
cool, I
so
think.
that's probably Winter Classic.
Probably. It's
No.
it's 2 years from now, so we won't know.
Oh, I think what they're going to do is Winter Classic 2025 at Wrigley with Bedard, and then Stadium Series at the Horseshoe.
Yeah.
But we say that Capitals Red Wings Stadium Series may not be the best, but we also thought the same thing about Devils Flyers. We thought the
Yeah, that's
Flyers
true.
would take care of business
That's
against the Devils.
true.
And
That's
look
true.
what happened.
Yeah.
If we go to now what happened at the last Stadium
Meant
Series,
Red
I
Wings.
saw
Or Columbus. He meant
the
Columbus.
final score was 6-3 Devils, and the Devils were the home team. So they had the band that wrote their stadium goal song play after every goal, play before the game, played one of the intermissions, and it was just amazing to watch.
And they had
Yeah.
Max Weinberg there
Yep.
for the
That-
intro.
Yeah,
National anthem.
I think I saw something that apparently there have been more hockey games played at MetLife than there have been playoff football games.
I don't-
Sorry,
that
Jets
doesn't
fans. Sorry,
surprise
Giants
me.
fans.
Yeah, there's been two hockey games to the
Well,
one.
the Giants
football game.
were what, a 6 seed in 2011, so they didn't have any playoff home games.
I think
and
unless,
then
wait,
I
no,
don't-
they
I
didn't,
don't think so.
They didn't
It's only-
play-
and then
it was
the
in-
Jet
it was
and
in
then the
Minnesota the other
Jets.
year, right?
The
only
Jets
4-3-2.
must have only had one
A
in
few
those
years
two
When the
ago.
Giants went to
That
Super
was-
46, they played Green Bay Divisional, and then they played San Fran AFC Championship.
Yeah, and I
At
think-
Green Bay, and at San
Yeah,
Fran.
so those were both on
Even
the
when the
road.
Jets
Yeah,
were in
wait,
the playoffs,
when-
Yeah, they
were.
were only at home for one, and I think that was the year
Yeah.
where they were still at Giant Stadium. So
Then did the Giants play? Where was the Giants'
Giants
first
played
round
the
of
Oh, the
21?
Vikings in
2021, that was at Minnesota.
What do you mean
Yeah,
the
that
Giants
makes
played the Vikings?
In 2021, a few years
Yeah, when the
ago.
Giants made the
Like,
playoffs.
remember 2 years ago?
First
the
year
Giants
grind
made
day.
the
That was
playoffs?
last season, but it was at Minnesota.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what we're saying.
Yeah, I didn't,
So they-
I didn't know.
All right,
but
So
yeah,
back
pretty
to
cool
the
stats.
Stadium Series. We had the three goals from the Flyers were 2 from Owen Tippett and then 1 from Nick Seeler. And if we go to the Devils, we had Nathan Bastian with 2 goals, Nico Hischier, the captain, with 2 goals and 1 assist, Jack Hughes with 1 assist, Curtis Lazar with 2 assists, Timo Meyer with 1 assist, Tyler Toffoli with a goal, and then Andre Palat with 2 assists. And
so it was pretty much spread out.
Brendan Smith with a
It
goal
was-
and assist.
It was a huge win
Yeah.
for the Devils because now they're
Yeah.
only 4 points back of that
Yeah.
last wild card
And-
spot on
If
Detroit.
Red Wings, if Devils win tonight, which there's always a chance,
Mm,
or if even if we get to overtime and
Yeah.
we get an overtime loss
Mhm.
at that point,
that'd be
we're
good.
still in the hunt, and we actually need the Islanders to lose because
Yeah.
we're tied with them at
Yeah.
60 points. But the only reason why the Islanders are even still in this picture is because they have 14 overtime losses.
Which
Yeah.
is by far the most out of
Coming
anybody
in,
the league.
coming into this game, there was some bad blood with Brendan Smith and people on the Flyers, so that was really evident in the game. And then seeing Brendan Smith score, it just made it feel even better as a Devils fan.
Well, there was bad
Yeah.
blood in the Flyers
Okay.
Devils game, but there was a real
All
fight
right,
in the
all right.
Rangers Islanders
All
game.
right, all right,
Yeah.
all right.
Between like
And
a
then
6-7 rookie.
Final
and,
thing from it, Nico Dawes, the goalie, had 45 saves, which is the most in an outdoor game in NHL history.
and it's also his personal best.
Very good.
All right, now let's get to the real game and the better game of the Stadium Series.
Debatable.
My New York Rangers.
No, that was a better game.
All right, let me talk. My New York Rangers won 6-5 in overtime. We were down 4-1. We came back 4-3. The Islanders went up 5-3. Last 2 minutes, Chris Kreider scored to make it 5-4. Then Zibanejad hit a crazy snipe to make it
Yeah.
5-5, like
I
I
saw
do in
that snipe,
VHL
but,
hockey. Stop talking.
I
I'm still
I
talking.
still, I still
Be
don't get
quiet.
The angle he hit that in.
That
I
that was
saw
a
it on
crazy
a stick,
shot.
and then I see it in the back.
And
of
then-
the net.
And then we went to overtime. Panarin scored the winning goal to make it 6-5.
of course, it's
Kreider
What a goal after
Kreider scored a goal.
after the net gets
Kreider
kicked
scored a
off.
goal. Panarin scored a goal. Zibanejad scored a goal. Vincent Trocheck scored 2 goals. He was player of the game. And then we one defenseman scored a goal. Eric Gustafsson. I don't know if I'm saying his name wrong. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but he scored a goal too. And Rangers win 6-5 in overtime.
Yeah. Also, I want to point out that fight that was in that game. It was a 6-7 rookie who
6'7".
yeah,
Making
he's
his
apparently was
6'7".
6'7", and I forget who it was, but one of the Rangers said that he never thought he was gonna be one of the shortest. That he was gonna feel short on the line. Because
Before
there's
you,
two
Alright.
6'7" players on their offense. I mean that's.
Alright,
their
here's the thing.
defense
alright.
usually.
The night after, the same night after, during the NBA All-Star game, I was talking to Mike on the phone. When Panarin scored that winning goal, you saw the Islanders hit his own goal out, right? But stop.
Let Sean talk.
If he did not move the goal, that puck would have scored anyways, because the goalie did not even knew the goal was coming, and it passed him.
It went over the line.
But Michael was like, but it should not have.
The puck went over the line.
It was gonna.
Goal got
went
moved
in.
intentionally.
I didn't fully
Should have
understand what
counted.
was happening at the time.
I'm not sure what the official rule is.
They
but
looked at
you
it and
have-
it was a goal.
They called it a goal, but you have the puck going over the line anyway.
Yeah.
And then you have the
If you
Islanders
look at the
pretty
replay,
clearly intentionally taking the net off.
if you pull up the replay, you see Panarin shoot the puck, and while he exactly shot, or like the puck was coming, the Islanders defensive accidentally hit the goal out of play. That goal was going in or not, and the Islanders goalie did not even know the goal.
Well, I'm not sure if it was very accidental or not, but
he, I don't know, but yeah.
that is, as you said, the Islanders' 14th overtime loss of the year.
Yeah,
Which puts them level with the Devils on points. They're both 4 points
Right,
out
yeah,
of
that's
the
Michael's
wild card. What does
Going
Michael
back
wanna
to the
say?
fight, I think it's pretty crazy. You have a rookie who's making his NHL debut at the Stadium Series. His first shift of the game, 1 second in, he drops the gloves and wins the fight.
Oh yeah,
That's insane.
And I'd like to say that the guy who he was fighting, I forget who it was, but I know he is a fighter, or is more known to fights than other
He's a
players.
goon. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he was even having trouble. I mean, he couldn't reach. He was reaching for his head because even though he's over 6 feet tall, the guy he was fighting was 6'7".
Mhm.
Like,
Well, we were complaining that it wasn't a Rangers-Devils Stadium Series, but we do get Rangers-Devils tonight. I believe it's 7 o'clock, but I'm not
7
sure.
o'clock.
And even though
Is
the
it,
same,
is it on
It's
ESPN?
I don't know
Or
where
is
it's
it-
at, but
it is.
all I know is it's at the Rock.
okay,
It's on
So then
MSG.
it's at the Devils.
It's on MSG.
yeah, and first game was at the
It's
Devils.
only MSG?
According to
And the first game this season, Dallas Rangers was at the Rock, and we won 5-3.
Yeah, so
It says
that
it's on
doesn't really matter.
MSGSN and MSG2.
I'm gonna say it now. I already know that the Devils are gonna lose, so
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
we'll
go
lose
on.
by 2 goals probably.
I'm not gonna go on this whole rant about the Devils are gonna win. They're gonna upset the Rangers.
Yeah,
I
that's
know
not
the facts.
happening.
I know they're gonna
you
lose.
only do that with the Raiders.
I have the hope. Yes, I only do that with the Raiders. I only have hope.
Devils are gonna do the same thing they do always in Devils fashion. Give us hope and then don't win.
Right.
But-
Even though the same series was not exactly Rangers and Devils, I think it was a good idea for NHL to do 2 stadium games
I do
to make
like
it more
that.
better and more
Mhm.
hype, and it was.
Yeah.
Even though, I did not really watch most of it, but Flyers Devils, it was still a good game, even though Devils dominated. And then Rangers and Islanders was just a battle.
Yeah, Rangers and Islanders was a classic.
And Rangers
NHL
Rangers
rivalry
fought Rangers fought all the way till the end. That's why when you're in a game or something, you do not give up because it's not over till it's over.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had the Super Bowl last week, meaning the NFL season's done, and we don't have much to talk about with that until the draft coming
Until
in late
Okay,
April.
by the way,
Really?
speaking of Super Bowl, we have that's 1 week down, only 29 more Sundays to
And
go
no-
until
And we
week
have a
one.
lot of things to cover
And
until then,
I could care less
It's
about
re-
it.
29 more
And
weeks.
including
Yeah.
America's pastime, Major League Baseball. We got
Yes.
a few injury
Yeah.
news, including a big one for the New York Mets.
And
Yeah,
his
so-
Mets are going to lose to the Brew Crew
Okay,
on
so we
opening
got
day.
Kodai Senga, the Mets ace in this case. He is just starting the season on the IL. He has a shoulder sprain. We have something that's pretty big for the Yankees. Judge is still fighting that
Still fighting
that
a
toe injury?
toe injury
Whiny
that he suffered
like
last June
it was like
at Dodger
eight-
Stadium.
8 months ago or something, but
Well,
no.
you off.
It was in
Yeah,
June, so
8
it
months.
was
Alright.
a long time
This
ago.
kid
Yeah.
just said whiny Judge, bro. That could that can still be affecting his batting. He has to use his
Yeah.
his
Alright.
batting.
Gotta
stance.
use running
But,
in the outfield.
Yeah. Anyway,
What do you
Judge
mean,
is
whiny,
still
whiny Judge?
Judge is-
So hold on. This kid who, as he says, knows nothing about baseball now wants to talk about baseball. So shut up, Michael. Back to Alex.
Okay, so Judge, it's not confirmed if he's gonna play or start the season on the IL. But currently he's waitlisted on doing either one. He's probably gonna play a few games in spring training and see if he can play. But I doubt how much he'll play. Some big moves is Liam Hendricks signs with the Red Sox on Tuesday.
It doesn't matter. Red Sox.
Who cares
will still
about
be-
Liam
Yeah.
Hendricks in Boston?
Red Sox will still be the worst team.
Who
in the
cares
league.
about Liam Hendricks in Boston
Pablo
Red
San-
Sox?
Pablo Sandoval, the guy who won the World Series with them a few years back, with the Giants a few years back, returns to the Giants and signs a minor league deal.
That was about 10 years ago now.
Yeah, but hey, it was big. Everyone, I heard a bunch
A
of things
minor
about the
league
Giants.
deal. What is he, like 35?
Yeah, pretty much.
So his career's over.
But last time the Giants
That's why
won
he
was
signed a minor league deal.
2014.
yeah
that
against
was 10
Kansas
years
City
ago.
against Royals.
I guess they'll call him up for a ceremony or something.
Yeah,
10-year anniversary.
But yeah, we have spring training. It actually starts today. Dodgers versus Padres at 3:10.
The first game.
Yep, pretty excited.
We're back.
Yeah, oh yeah. Most other games are starting on the 24th, but a few more days. Some big games to watch. I know it's spring training, but we got the Mets versus Yankees March 22nd, and the Angels versus Dodgers the 25th.
Still a month until then,
Yeah.
but those are some games to look forward to
Yeah.
because we could see Shohei with the Dodgers against
Yeah.
his former team, so that would be nice.
Who knows?
It's only 7 innings. It
For
doesn't
all we
really
know,
matter.
we could see Anthony Volpe and Luis Angel Acuna go crazy.
And we could see Bader go crazy in center.
Who knows? Maybe
Against
maybe
his old
maybe
team.
Harrison Bader and Pete Alonso duo when they're back with the Gators. Maybe reuniting
Yeah.
them are gonna do something crazy.
But it all leads up to that big day, March 28th, opening day.
yeah, open.
We're ready. As Sean said, the Mets will lose to the Brew Crew. We're hoping for that. Well,
I
at
don't
least
know.
2 of us are. And I got a bad feeling for New York baseball this year. I don't know.
The Yankees.
Will Soto go off for the
No.
Yankees? I don't think he
No.
will. I think he'll be like Stanton.
The
again.
Yankees are just a joke. They can get everyone all that. They can get the big stars, Juan Soto. They're just not going to do good because of the New York Yankees.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
and
It's
also
we're not the evil empire anymore. It's the Dodgers.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Also, Tim Anderson signed with the Marlins. He didn't have the best season last year. Only 1 home run in almost.
But he did
500
have that fight,
at-bats.
which was.
But he did have the legendary.
Down goes Anderson.
Yeah, that's still gonna go in history. That's gonna be one of the best
Oh, yes.
fights. But then also we got the Yankees versus the Astros to start off the season. Hopefully the Yankees could go 0-3 to start.
And one of the games when Yankees and Astros playing that 4-game series is on Saturday on Fox.
Because it's the Yankees.
Yeah,
and the
but other
Astros,
than
that's
those
why.
2 matchups, there's not too many good ones. I mean, we got the Giants versus Padres. But
162.
One thing I
games.
have a problem with
actually,
the Yankees.
we have the Phillies versus Braves.
Oh, that could be good.
Yeah, could be pretty good. But other than those 4 matchups, nothing really too good.
The Yankees, I feel like they have too much like old and mid bad players.
I agree.
Like Gleyber Torres. Like
Yeah.
Oh man.
last time, bro. The only year Gleyber Torres did good was 2018 and 2019. And the last year time he really went off, it was Game 1 of the 2019 ALCS at Houston against the Astros. Bro hit like 3 home runs in that game. The Yankees won 7-1.
Yeah.
I mean, we still
feel like-
lost that
And
series.
feel
you know
like
what
the whole-
happened after that? We lost Game 2, Game 3, Game 4. We won Game 5 because Aaron Hicks hit a bomb against Justin Verlander down the line.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And then Game 6,
I swear,
womp womp.
If for the Yankees, if you're not like a big player like a Cy Young winning Garrett Cole
That's true.
or Aaron Judge, I don't know anyone really.
But the Yankees are
Like,
just
Same thing with me and the Mets.
Yeah,
I
like,
only know
I swear,
Alonso and
everyone's
I
just
used to
getting
know
super old.
DeGrom, but
The
that-
Yankees
that's
are-
not anymore.
the Yankees are just a joke, and the manager is still Aaron Boone.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I feel
Oh.
like Boone's gonna get fired. After
He
this
should
year.
be fired.
Oh,
I
something
know.
that I think is actually going to be pretty cool. The Mets, with the Mets Brewers thing, Mets new head coach is actually the Brewers' old, I believe, head coach.
Yeah, old manager.
Old manager. So that could be something.
Well,
cool,
the
yeah.
Brewers add some pieces to their team that.
Yeah, but you
will
also
definitely-
lost a key player,
Eh.
Corbin Burns, who
That's
signed
true.
with the
Well, guess what? We
Orioles.
still
That's
got-
a big pickup.
We
for
still got
Baltimore.
yeah.
Brandon Woodruff.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Sean's apparently a Brewers fan now. He's been like this.
And
for
we
years.
have Freddie Peralta. Not
Yeah.
wait no.
No.
I don't know.
But
why.
speaking of Orioles, I know that they lost. They actually got swept in the first rounds
Yeah.
last year, the playoffs,
Against,
after
Tampa, I
winning
think.
101
No, not
games.
Tampa.
But I think they could go pretty deep in the playoffs.
I don't
As
know.
of now, they look really good on paper.
And they look good on paper last
But
year.
the thing is, apparently Gunnar Henderson has an injury.
which is a big problem.
Yeah, but hopefully Adley Rutschman and few other
I
teams
hope
go
I
crazy.
hope Baltimore does all right, except against the Yankees. But I think they're a bit overdue for
Yeah,
sports
this is the
success.
guy I was talking about. Ray Peralta. We still have him.
Ray Peralta. Yep.
Yeah,
So we still have our two
I think- I
other
think-
best pitchers. Still got Brandon Woodruff, Ray Peralta. Pitching, we still got other good guys. And I feel like they added more to the offense. We have Jake Bowers, good young prospect Yankees. We got Reese Hoskins, the one who did the bat flip for the Phillies in season. We have him now. And yeah.
I just have one question. Like, how are the Rangers gonna do?
Ooh.
I mean,
They
just
have-
won the World Series after winning
The Rangers.
games, I think.
The Rangers are the most. I feel like the Rangers are the most consistent team in MLB, and I feel like they're still gonna be good and consistent.
And they had DeGrom and Scherzer injured
exactly.
the entirety of the regular
Yeah,
season and still
but
won.
the question is,
still won the World
Are
Series.
key players like Garcia gonna do good?
Yes, the Rangers, like the last year and this year, we're gonna see like how like the Rangers are the most consistent MLB, and they're gonna prove that again this season. The Rangers are gonna be good again. Like they're just gonna be the Rangers like last year and do what they do.
I mean, they still have Seager, so if
Yeah.
he goes,
They
crazy,
still have everyone, bro.
They
Yeah.
didn't. They didn't.
Do you
pay
not know
any
who?
tax.
Do you know who Marcus Semien is?
Yeah, who
All
doesn't?
right, good.
Which baseball fan does not know who
This one.
Semien is? But
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I think the Rangers could also do pretty good. I mean,
They
What
have
do
the
you
entire
mean they're going to do?
team from
They
last
are
year.
going to do good. They did good last year, and they're going to do this year, and they're going to prove why they're the most consistent team in baseball. Oh, I think they're going to do pretty good.
they signed, I guess they signed David Robinson for the Mets. A few other.
Well-
they have like 4 players on the team.
I'm
that are
gonna
previous
go
players.
out on a limb and say the MLB is gonna be better than the NFL this year.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously.
Yeah.
I think.
You could say anything's better than the NFL, and I'll agree with you.
Well,
Skylanders.
maybe not the NBA.
Maybe not the NBA.
Mhm.
Almost anything.
I
My
think,
bad.
I think the starting few are pretty good. I mean, Ezekiel Duran, Josh Young. He's pretty young. He's young, but he's pretty good.
There are going to be
Seager,
a lot of
Semien.
storylines to follow in this MLB season.
Oh yeah.
We'll leave you with one last thing that I like to talk about, but nobody else really does. We had a big event in motorsports this past Monday. It was supposed to be Sunday, but it got rained out. William Byron won the Daytona 500. Congrats to him. Starts off Hendrick Motorsports' 40th anniversary season with a bang. Their first 500 win since 2014 when Dale Earnhardt Jr. got it. And going on right now, I believe it just ended a few moments ago. F1 testing, their second day in Bahrain. Already Max Verstappen blowing things out. So if you're an F1 fan, tune into IMSA or IndyCar or anything else because it's not going to be fun. You're just going to be seeing a Red Bull in front of the pack 30 seconds ahead. So for Alex McKay, Michael McKay, Sean Barry, and myself, I'm Matthew Merlino. Thanks for joining us here on the Pascack Clutch Podcast. We should be back to Wednesday next week. Keep on the lookout for it anytime here on the PH Athletics YouTube channel.